So love one another just as Jesus loved us. And this is his command. This was his command as a Christian service. Christian love as a service of love. And he told us to do the same. Commitment. So Christian love is committed service. You make the decision, you commit to love. And we will ask this question, who is our neighbor exactly? Who do we love? Everybody. Who said that? You get a prize. He already has all the prizes. You get it. You can share.
I can share because I love you all.
Oh, praise the Lord. There you go. So who is your neighbor? Absolutely right. The definition of our neighbor and whom we make the choice to love every day is, that is a good one. It's in the parable of the Good Samaritan. And pretty much it was about how the Jews hated and disliked the Samaritans so much, and they judged them for marrying amongst the Gentiles. And so for a Samaritan to help a Jew in their time of need was an act of love and a way of showing him or her that was their neighbor to love. So pretty much the big picture and the understanding of all this is that who is our neighbor? The definition of our neighbor is any man in need of your help is our neighbor. So I'm going to go into the characteristics of Christian love, and this can actually be outlined in some very popular scripture that everybody I'm sure knows of, and it's 1 Corinthians 13. Woo. So let's read it together, if you guys can. Love is patient, love is kind, it is not jealous, love is not pompous, it is not inflated, it is not rude, it does not seek its own interests, it is not quick-tempered, it does not brood over injury, it does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes in all things, and endures all things. So, a good way to remind ourselves how to love is, Jacob knows what's going to happen, I think.
Huh?
So a good way to remind ourselves of how to love is to replace the word love with the letter I. So, it's not I is patient, okay. It's not I is patient. That's just wrong. I mean, okay, so let's read this together. I am patient. I am kind. I am not jealous. I am not pompous nor inflated. I am not rude or seek my own interests. I am not quick-tempered. I do not brood over injury. I will not rejoice over wrongdoing, but will rejoice in the truth. I will bear all things, believe in all things, hope in all things. I will endure all things. Totally grammatically incorrect there, sorry. So, one thing I want to share before I close, guys, is this was, I go to Mass at St. Patrick's during the work week, sometimes during my lunch break, and this is in San Francisco. So one of the homilies from last week, Father included this in his homily, and I was sitting there wanting to bust out my phone and take notes because I thought I can totally share this with everybody next week, but I didn't want to do that. So I emailed, and he praise God, he sent it to me, and these are practical, everyday ways that we can show our love for others. There's scriptural reference as well, and I can share this with everybody afterwards. But let's read this together. Number 1, listen without interrupting. Speak without accusing. Give without sparing. Pray without ceasing. Answer without arguing. Share without pretending. Enjoy without complaint. Trust without wavering. Forgive without punishing. And promise without forgetting. So we have taken a look at what Christian love isn't. We've talked about what Christian love is not. And we've looked at the different various characteristics of love. And if after this talk you've come to the conclusion still that Christian love is difficult and it's probably even impossible, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Again, I want to reiterate and remind everybody, because I'm often reminded that Christian love is not guaranteed to be painless. We are like all of these runners in this race to the finish line of heaven, and you are going to encounter roadblocks. You're going to encounter difficulties and heartache and pain and challenges. And all of these things, we can't get through them without the grace of God and without His love and without His help. So I urge you to trust in Him and to accept His call when He calls you. For those of you that have grown up in the Catholic faith, or you're just getting to know it, I mean, I really honor all of you for being here and for making the choice to be here, because God called each of you by name. And pretty much when we love God, but we also love our fellow brothers and sisters, loving God, loving our neighbor, as runners in this race, we're not trying to cross the finish line by ourselves. We are trying to make saints of our fellow brothers and sisters. We are wanting to cross that finish line together, because our final destination is in heaven together. And so this very last thing, and now these three things remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. So may God bless us all, and may God be praised.
Again, we have another share for this talk.